What's going on, YouTube? Culturedog Sam Hatch back with another video. One I hadn't been planning on making. I was in the midst of doing all my Spotlight videos and talking about the Laserdisc format via the Laserdisc Essentials series, which I'm knee-deep on episode 2. Don't worry, I'm going to have that up shortly. And all sorts of other things. But in the meantime, I happened to trip across a deal on some Laserdiscs, and in my never-ending quest for all things 12 inches and shiny, I happened to trip through the wires of Craigslist, and I never usually find much of anything on there except for small batches of discs or discs that are too far away, etc. But I actually found some that were within pretty quick driving distance. Someone was selling and essentially it was a estate sale. They had a big yard sale coming up, but they had a few key items that they were doing a pre-sale for. Yeah, so I lucked out and had the opportunity to pick up a collection of Laserdiscs and a Laserdisc player. So I couldn't say no. And I did actually get a couple things not related to that collection, so we'll go through those first and then jump into the new stuff. Because almost immediately before that, I got a package in from Kevin Kobos, which is the cool thing about ordering from him, because they'll send things sometimes on the slow boats from Japan, so they're sitting in those like shipping containers, and you forget about them, and then it's like Christmas when they show up. And Kevin's got a shop called Good Squid in Japan, and they're great about getting discs in the hands of collectors and not being precious about them. They've got really super fair prices and are just great resource for collectors of the discs that don't want to get ripped off on eBay from people that kind of fetishize and romanticize every element of import laser discs. And he was getting rid of some James Bond discs, and these things are gorgeous, but they were only $5 a pop. So I couldn't say no, even though of course I've got every James Bond film on DVD and Blu-ray, sometimes in multiple forms. But On Her Majesty's Secret Service is my favorite Bond film. Couldn't say no to this. It's a cool gatefold. I'm sure I'll be doing a Spotlight review on it. But definitely had to pick that up. And he had a bunch of the other classics and a lot of Roger Moore era ones. But I figured, let's get wild. Let's go for the Brosnan stuff. So I actually got Tomorrow Never Dies as well. AC3 release. Again, another nice gatefold. And GoldenEye, and it's tough because the American cover for GoldenEye is really cool, but something about this Japanese cover too, without the obi strip on, it's just very streamlined with the cool framing there. So I already watched this. I'll probably do a Spotlight review on it. Another THX release in Dolby Digital. I'm intrigued to see what the difference is between the American release and the Japanese pressing, because the American pressing in AC3 at least is being accused of being too bassy, and I'm intrigued to check that out. Unfortunately, I didn't have the American release of GoldenEye until I hit that estate sale, and one of the discs that came in it was the AC3 version of GoldenEye. So I'm going to check that out. Also THX, and yeah, looking forward to checking out. Oh, somebody was mentioning that the United Artists logo was missing from some of the later releases, like on Blu-ray or something. I never realized that, so I'm gonna have to check that out. So let's get into the stuff I had. We'll do the double dips. I didn't actually have this pressing, but I've seen it a lot before. It's not widescreen, but it's probably just open matte, because I believe this is 1.85:1. But it's a weird release because it's a digipack of Silence of the Lambs. This is pretty common, but it is a strange digipack situation, and this was largely forgotten about as a storage format. I don't know of anything else that's like it, so I'm gonna have to hold on to that just to hold on to it, basically. Also got another box of the CAV Jurassic Park, so now I've got a couple bonus ones of these. So if anybody needs one, let me know. Maybe I'll do a contest or something like that when I hit 500 subs or something like that. Give away a Jurassic Park, because it's a great set. And I also will get all my other doubles. I have Lost World, Jurassic Park, AC3. I already had a copy of this, but now I got another one. I already watched this one the other night too. And yet another copy of Men in Black. Unfortunately, this is a DADC pressing, so it does have some laser rot, and I checked it out, and there is some on there. Most of the other cases I had were cool because they were copies that were in better shape than my original discs, so I gladly swapped them out. One was The Fugitive, and The Fugitive is a DADC pressing for Warner Brothers. Usually that was like a big Sony thing, but Warner Brothers did use them occasionally for, you know, this and Demolition Man. And it is known as a rotter. My old version does have some speckling. This one has even less so, and is completely, utterly watchable. Very, very light speckling, so it was no-brainer to swap this out and to hold on to this. I'm actually looking forward to checking out the squeeze version if I can get a copy of that at some point. This I was happy to swap out the MGM letterbox edition of North by Northwest because my corner was way damaged from Columbia House, and this thing is very, very nice looking. So that was another one I was psyched about. This was one of those like dollar cheapies I had picked up in another lot, so the jacket was a little beat up. So again, I was more than happy to swap out a new, nicer version of Executive Decision. And likewise, this thing's a little bit ragged. It's got some tears on the top, but it's still way nicer looking than my other copy. The Kevin Costner Crapfest Robin Hood Prince of Thieves. I still owe a review on this, so I got to do that sometime soon. Again, another release that I had originally received a damaged jacket from Columbia House, so it was nice to replace Cape Fear. So, again, these were kind of fortuitous doubles. As was this one. I had two copies of this already, one which had a sticker from a rental facility, so I was happy to get a nicer copy of Independence Day, THX Classic, AC3. It rips. Not the best flick overall, but still a Laserdisc essential, so to speak. This is another one I got recently that had a bit of a damaged corner, so I upgraded The Firm. Again, a lot of comments here, but I was wicked psyched the fact that I didn't really have a lot of them, and it kind of fell in my wheelhouse of things I was looking for. You know, 90s action films and whatnot. And I still don't know if this is in better shape than my other copy, but I got another copy of Clear and Present Danger. So, let's get into some of the releases I didn't have before. Start with some of the older stuff and work our way up. First up is the compilation film That's Entertainment 3, so lots of dancing and stuff like that. There was a lot of this type of stuff in the collection, so I'm guessing there was a lot of fans of musicals. So, very cool to get that. This is the non-gatefold version of the letterbox edition of Dr. Zhivago. So, cool. I remember almost pulling the trigger on the later edition of this from Columbia House, but I never got around to it. It's a little bit of corner damage on this, but I'll still take it. Gatefold of Some Like It Hot from MGM. This actually looks pretty cool. It's a James Cagney Taking on Japan flick from Landmark Laservision. Blood on the Sun. Looks pretty cool. I'm going to check that out. The classic Gene Kelly dancing with Jerry the Mouse flick, Anchors Away with Frank Sinatra, Katherine Grayson. A MGM release. Dean Stockwell on there? Yeah, Dean Stockwell. Also, White Christmas. Very nice looking gatefold from Paramount. So, sweet catch there. A lot of these discs are in really, really good shape. I mean, they were really well cared for. And it's cool to be able to get that feel of history that you're picking them up and knowing that they didn't just come from a bin in Goodwill or something. These came directly from the person who directly bought them from the stores back in the 90s. So this compilation I never even knew existed. It's a Busby Berkeley compilation, the Busby Berkeley disc. Lots of choreographed dance moments, musical action in there. This I've been meaning to actually catch up with it a while. Just somebody told me that was a good flick recently. James Cagney and Humphrey Bogart and the Roaring Twenties. So I grabbed that and some more Bogey. The African Queen, just the old CBS Fox version. So I'm not expecting too much great from quality. This I hadn't heard of, but Looks interesting. Edward G. Robinson and I Am the Law. I Am the Law! No relation to Judge Dredd. Kind of old version. When did this come out? Well, it says 1982, but it still might have been a later pressing of Shane. Not much on there for extras or anything like that, but it'll be cool to check that out. And I got my first Encore editions. I hadn't had too many of those. MCA Universal put them out. These are all in very nice condition, and in spite of the black, the color stills on the back of this, it's actually in black and white. I was watching it last night, hoping to finish it tonight. Saboteur, a Alfred Hitchcock flick, not to be confused with Sabotage, but yeah, Saboteur, and Robert Cummings in there. It's a pretty fun flick so far, so I'm looking forward to checking out the rest of it. And also a couple more Encore editions, Abbott and Costello and Buck Privates. And Irving Berlin's Holiday Inn, featuring the tune White Christmas. And yet another copy. I had the CAV box set, but I really like the cover on this. I know there was a later rendition, but this one was from 89, it looks like. Casablanca. So I'm going to hold on to that just for that. It's funny, I had a copy of this that had really a worn jacket, but I had gotten rid of it because I had picked up a copy on Blu-ray and a copy on DVD. But here it is, coming back to me again. Just watched the flick on Blu-ray recently, too, which looks amazing. Gone with the Wind, Gatefold. This is also the 75th anniversary edition. There's some versions that right here it says 75th anniversary. But I assume it is, yeah, it's all digitally remastered at the time. So I'm assuming it's all the same thing. But yeah, 1992. And The Sting I grabbed. It's a pan scan release. I don't know if that was anamorphic widescreen or not, or if it's just open matte here. I'll have to check that out. But, you know, George Roy Hill action. I've never actually watched all this thing, so I'm looking forward to checking that out. Alright, so let's take a break, and I'm going to come back and show you the rest of the videos I got in my new collection. Cheers!